What is up everybody, my name is Hello. Welcome to this video series where we're solving Codeforces problems in Python. We are doing the A to J ladder, and in this video we're going to be doing problem 112A, which is called Petya and Strings. So if you're doing this problem in Python, the solution only has like 2 or 3 lines of code, but we're going to be looking at what that solution is and at the same time trying to solve it like from a basic point as well, so that you can carry forward the same to other languages. So let us go ahead and read through what this problem is before we attempt to solve it. This problem is called Petya and Strings. Little Petya loves presents. His mom bought him 2 strings of the same size for his birthday. The string consists of uppercase and lowercase Latin letters. Okay. Now Petya wants to compare those 2 strings lexicographically. Lexicographically means in alphabetical order. The letters case does not matter. Okay, so A and A will have the same weightage. Whenever the letters case does not matter, we either convert everything to the uppercase or everything to the lowercase. That we'll do with dot lower or dot upper in Python. In this case, let's take everything to lowercase, and that will be dot lower. This function. This is a string function in Python. Okay. Help Petya perform the comparison, and the input looks like you'll get 2 strings. Strings range from 1 to 100 characters. In case the first string is less than the second one, print -1. If the first string is greater than the second one, print 1, else print 0 if both the strings are equal. Okay, -1 means second string is more, 1 means first string is more, 0 means they are equal. We'll take these 2 cases. In the first case, I think you can understand that this is also A, this is also A. This doesn't matter because small a and capital A have the same weightage, therefore it's 0. In this case, A, B and S, A, B and Z. We'll convert this to lowercase while comparing. So A, B and S will be compared by A, B and Z. These 2 are the same. These 2 are the same. S is lexicographically in front than Z. That means the first string is less than the second string. Therefore, we get the answer of -1. That -1 means that this particular string appears first in the dictionary. That is before this second string. How are you going to calculate this? See, in Python, when you directly compare 2 strings, and I do something like, say, this ABS is in ST1 and this ABZ is in ST2. If I just print ST1 greater than ST2, right, or if I add an if condition in front of it, what this particular thing does is it takes the ASCII value of every single character and it keeps looping through all of this, and in the end it tells me basically this. It tells me whether a string is lexicographically greater or smaller than another string. So this comparison you can do by default in Python. You don't have to write specific functionality for it. And so that is it. So this is the one line of code that we need to solve this problem. But if you want to do it from a standpoint without using this particular operator, you can do so using the ASCII value of that number. Okay, ASCII is the representation, is the decimal representation of every single character. We already talked about ASCII in another episode. A will be given by the letter 96, B will be 97, and so on and so forth. Similarly, we have small a, small b, small c, small d. So everything will have a number. So we convert this to its ASCII form, this to its ASCII form, then compare those 2 values. Similarly, we can do for every single number here, and in the end we can say, okay, whether this is greater or this is lower. Okay, how that will look like is we're going to be looping. So there are 2 strings here, ABS and ABZ. What we're going to do is we are going to go and see this length is the same. So let's say the length is n. So let's loop through for I in range of n. So I will be the value. We'll look at ST of I and ST2 of I. We'll see if these 2 are equal, keep going forward. If this particular value is greater than this particular value, then we have 2 conditions. Okay, so whenever it's equal, we keep going to the next, because that's how it is, right? Lexicographically, if I have 2 integers, say I have something like bat and I have, say, something like B, O and T. Okay, bot. Here B and B is the same, but since this is the only thing that differs, where this particular value is not the same value as its corresponding index in the second word, that means in the dictionary, whichever one comes alphabetically first will be ranked first. So that only this particular condition, or the first condition where the characters in that particular index is not the same in its corresponding string, we can go ahead and do this calculation. Else we have to keep repeating till we find out one case where this value and its corresponding value are not equal. That's what will be done in this B case also. Let's go to this S case. S and Z are not equivalent. Now we'll check. We'll take the ordinal value. Ordinal value is nothing but the ASCII value. We'll take the ASCII values of both of this. We'll say if this is greater than Z, that means alphabetically this comes lesser than, great after this ORDZ. That means that this string is greater than this string. So we go ahead and print 1 and then break. But this is not the case here because S comes before Z. So we'll do an else condition. We'll print -1 and then break. That's it. So we can either print it here or store it somewhere and print it later. That is a problem for us to figure out later. But this is how this works. So you can either do it through the inbuilt functionality or you can do it through this. Let's go ahead and look at how this looks like in code. Okay, so let us go ahead and take st1 as input and st2 input. Then let us convert this. Let's convert these into a lower form. See, because the case does not matter, we are going to convert all of this into either lowercase letters or uppercase letters. Let's just convert it to lowercase letters in this case. So we'll say st1 is equal to st1 dot lower and st2 is equal to st2 dot lower. Once we have this, we can compare this with Python inbuilt comparison operator. Okay, we can say if st1 is greater than st2, we can print 1. If st1 is less than st2, we can print -1, and else we can print 0. If you go ahead and run all of this, you can see all 3 test cases are passed. That means this code is all you need to do. Okay, this is when you're doing with input comparisons, you can go ahead and submit this code. But let us try to do it with the ASCII value as well. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this, comparing with ASCII values. Okay, so first let's go ahead and set the answer to 0. Let us do for I in range of len of st1. That is, len of st1 and len of st2 is the same, which will be n, correct? We'll say, so ASCII 1 is given by this function ORD of a particular string will give its ASCII value, okay? Not a string, a character. So we'll say st1 of I, that will be ASCII 1. Then we'll say ASCII 2 will be odd of st2 of I. Then all we need to do is compare these two ASCII values, right? We say if ASCII 1 is greater than ASCII 2, then we can just say print the first is greater than the second string. We can print 1 and then break. Oh, we don't have to print anything. We can just say answer is equal to 1 and then break through this loop. Okay. Then if ASCII 1 is less than ASCII 2, in that case, what we'll do, we'll set answer to -1. That is, this particular string is greater. As we discussed already here, we are going to be looking at the first instance where these two strings don't have corresponding equal characters, because then only we decide whether it's what is the lexicographic place for it. If everything is same, we just keep looping through. We have one where it's different, or else we say it's same. Okay, so we'll loop through everything. So in either case where there is an inconsistency between this particular character and its corresponding character in the other string, we just break out of the loop, because we can decide which comes alphabetically first. Else, let us just loop through this value, and this value will always be 0, so we don't have to do anything here. In case these two conditions don't get triggered, it will go till the end of the list or the end of this particular string, and it will keep looping till it reaches the end of both strings, and it'll just set this answer to 0 and no change will happen. So we have a case where answer is 1, we have a case where answer is equal to -1, and a case where answer is equal to 0, because that is the base case we are taking. We can just go ahead and print answer, and if I run this thing, you can see all 3 test cases passed, and this is the function that actually Python uses, and we have coded that by ourselves. So you can use any approach you want, that is up to you completely. Let me just go ahead and submit the solution. If you take one, you'll get a few more lines of code, but this will be applicable across different languages. So you can see this solution got accepted. That's it, guys. The very easy solution. I hope you're able to understand. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. I'll see you in another video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.